Alright, we're back at it, filming at Crunch and hitting back and biceps today. I started going to the gym at 6 a.m., 6:30 a.m., around that time slot. Shout out to my boy Chris that put me onto this early morning gym trend. First of all, it really frees up the rest of your day to do other things, other activities. The best part about going to the gym at that time is really just seeing all the happy smiles on everyone's faces. One would think that 6 a.m. is too early, everyone's too tired, everyone hasn't had their morning coffee yet, so it would seem like a lot of pushing through the motions and trying to get out of there. But in my perspective, it's quite the opposite. The trainers, the gym goers, they're all super happy. And that's really symbolic of how I feel at the gym. It's my favorite part of the day, and that might sound kind of bleak, but it really is true. It's my favorite part of the day. I love just bettering myself, and I think that being in there with a community of people that wish to do the same is really awesome. So the mentality is very similar. Everyone wants to get after it. So with that, let's get right into this video. Back and bicep day is traditionally considered pull day because you're pulling the weights towards your body in order to get an effective contraction. There are two main types of pulling movements that occur in back exercises specifically. One would be a vertical pull movement, and the second would be a horizontal pull movement. So in my workout here, I'm doing supersets, and I'm going to show you how I integrate one of each into each superset. So I like to warm up with pull-ups. I like to get 10 clean reps so that I can really focus on pulling with my back muscles and really warming up those lat and upper trap muscles and every muscle in the back, because every muscle really gets engaged in pull-ups and also warms up the biceps a little bit. First superset, we're starting out with single arm cable lat pull downs. This exercise is really good for isolating each side of your back, which helps correct imbalances and gets a full stretch and contraction of those lat muscles. Since this is a vertical pulling movement, it's focused on growing the width of your back as opposed to the thickness of your back, which is what horizontal pulling movements do. So according to a 2014 study in the Journal of Strength and Conditioning Research, lat pull downs are really effective for the lat muscles as well as the biceps. So by creating a single arm variation, you're able to focus on one side of the back and develop a greater mind muscle connection with that side. Next exercise in the superset would be a machine row. This is a horizontal pull movement, so it's focused on growing the thickness of the inner back muscles. Traditionally, they should hit the mid back, the trap muscle, but I like to do it in a little different manner. I like to have a low row with the machine so that I'm really hitting those lower inner back muscles and working on those, as they're often neglected in many exercises. The row movement is really essential for building the back's thickness and then overall back strength. Going on to our second superset for back, we're starting out with neutral grip cable pull downs. So research shows that on lat pull downs, the grip or the width of the grip doesn't matter as much, whether you're doing wide, medium, or neutral. So it's based on personal preference. Personally, I like the neutral grip pull downs. I feel more comfortable in that position. The wrists and the hands are more comfortable in that position, and I'm able to get a nice stretch and contraction. Next, we have another horizontal pulling movement. This one is a single arm variation. We're doing the single arm seated cable low row. Again, I like to hit the lower inner back muscles here because they're often neglected. The single arm variation also helps you correct muscle imbalances, as previously stated. A key here would be to focus on pulling with your back muscles and not just your arm. So you want to bring your elbow to your hip, and that way you're effectively engaging your back muscles and not your arm, which the tension would then just go to your bicep. Moving on to our third superset, we have wide grip alternating cable lat pull downs. I like doing alternating here. It's kind of a single arm variation, but also the alternating helps maintain a really good stretch and contraction in each lat muscle. And while one lat is working, the other lat is completely stretched out and primed for the next rep. The next exercise in the superset is the cable straight arm pull down. I use a rope with this. This move really isolates your lats and helps you gain more of a mind muscle connection if you're having trouble feeling that in the pull down exercises or the row exercises, and it really helps you engage those muscles properly. For the next and final superset for the back, we have dumbbell shrugs. These are key for the trap muscles, which most people consider to be the shoulders, but they ride all the way down your back. So dumbbell shrugs are really good for engaging those muscles. These are really good to go heavy in, as you can really pull a lot of weight with your trap muscles. One thing with heavy weights that I would say is to focus on keeping the movement slow and controlled so that you can really maximize the time under tension and the tension on the target muscle. Next, we have face pulls, and this exercise is really good for overall back and shoulder health, but it's also a really effective exercise to engage the trap muscles and all those upper back muscles that we didn't really hit in the previous exercises in the workout. So moving on to biceps, this is our first superset with biceps, and we start out with incline dumbbell curl. The incline curls are great because they put your biceps in a stretch position, which maximizes tension and muscle activation. A 2009 EMG study found that incline curls provide really good bicep activation throughout the entire range of motion, especially up to 95% of its maximum capacity towards the tail end of that motion or the top of the rep. Next exercise in the bicep superset is machine preacher curls. They're great for isolating the bicep, especially the short head. Slowing down the eccentric increases muscle tension and growth. Research shows that preacher curls elicit high bicep activation, especially near the full extension. So emphasizing a slow and controlled eccentric, ideally 3 to 5 seconds, maximizes muscle breakdown and growth thanks to the stretch shortening cycle. Moving on to our last superset here, the second one for biceps, we have dumbbell hammer curls. These are great for building overall arm thickness and size. You can really go heavy in these compared to the traditional bicep curls, which is why it's good for building size and building thickness in that arm. A 2025 EMG study shows that hammer curls actually have lower bicep activation compared to other arm workouts or bicep workouts, but the hammer curl is very effective engaging the forearm muscles, so you can build that overall bigger arm and get more size for the forearm and the bicep. Last but not least, we have easy bar spider curls. The spider curls force you to put your arms out in front of your body, which maximizes the peak contraction at the top of the rep. EMG shows that spider curls with the easy bar produce high bicep activation, especially during the eccentric phase, which makes them an awesome addition for maximizing bicep growth. So if you thought this video was really informative, share it with a friend, subscribe, give it a like, and we'll see you next time.